Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a quick sort of first impressions of two prototypes I just got in today. And then I'm going to do a disassembly on this guy and just take a look inside because I don't know, it just feels a little off from factory. To be fair, this came from Brass Brigade. Jason is an awesome dude. There's going to be a pre-order for this. This is called the Gripper. This is a 3.5-inch version of it, and this is the prototype from Bestech he had made. And he told me he hadn't taken it apart yet, so I just thought I'd give it a shot. And I only noticed anything because left-handed I'm doing this. Where right-handed, it's just pretty much a guillotine down and then quick shake to close. And then this is the TW Price Dawn prototype. Both of these are actually Bestech made prototypes. This one here is, again, TW Price. This one is designed by a dude, who's 21 years old. I'm 33, so it makes me say kid, but he's not a kid. This is his first knife design, and holy shit, as a first knife design from a 21-year-old, I just think that's pretty freaking sweet. This is Jason's first knife design, too. He designed this on a beach in Hawaii, basically, which is also sweet. So pretty cool to have two of these prototypes in now. And yeah, so let me talk about the Dawn real quick, because then we're going to get into that gripper. I like this knife a lot. So right off the bat, this milling is absolutely stunning in person. That purple pivot collar. I'm going to do a full overview on this knife, so I don't want to like just go over everything, but you can see how beautiful it is. To me, it's like an absolutely pimped out Ferrum Forge Stinger. Just doesn't have the full finger choil, and obviously it's a little different, but you could see some similarities there. And that's how I've always seen this knife since the first time I saw it. I was like, damn, it's like a pimped out Stinger, you know? It's obviously a little thicker, and it is a different knife. It's a front flipper, not a flipper. There's a lot of differences. I just wanted to point out that I thought that initially. There's some scratching on the blade here. This is a hand satin, but it's been used by a bunch of reviewers. I'm pretty low on the list here. At the end, I guess I should say. The pre-order has already been completed. He sold these out pretty quick, I believe. So, unfortunately, you can't get one of these right now. But I believe he's going to have some extras that are going to drop after all the pre-orders are filled. So, might get lucky, and I'm sure there's going to be another run. Nice and slicey. Just the action is pretty good. The detent, I wish it was a little bit stronger. But in the same vein as a lefty, I kind of like where it is because I can flick it from the bottom of that fuller. I'm using my ring finger because my middle finger is a little bit bruised up and jacked up right now. But ow, I can get it out with the middle finger. You just can't go too high in the fuller or you're going to get caught because it just makes the detent too strong with the pressure on the lock bar. So it's not perfect for a lefty, but I mean, the front flip is excellent because you have no lock bar over here as a lefty, right? Again, detent could be a little bit stronger. This will all be in the overview, and I think the jimping should go all the way around, and he may have changed that. I've carried this for half a day now. He does have a landing spot for the clip there, but it is really tight. I have pretty thin jeans on, and it's like I got to yank it out of pocket. So, again, that might be something he already addressed. One other thing, I've had to tighten this pivot like 3 times already just from like couple hours of fidgeting, and not like hours of straight fidgeting, just like, you know, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. The one time the blade was actually like all the way over, completely loose. So I would definitely recommend some Loctite in here. I don't want to do it because it's not my knife, but it does center up when it's tightened down and there's no play, and it has great action. So it just needs to be Loctited like a lot of knives. Specifically, a lot of Bestechs tend to walk real easily. But I gotta say, overall, the build quality it's Riot level, but those minor details, like I was just saying with the pivot walking, the clip, like that kind of stuff is where Riot kind of like crosses their T's and dots their I's. But Bestech is getting there, guys. This is damn close. So that's the TW Price Dawn prototype. There's going to be a full video on that. So keep your eyes out for this sexy beast. All right, let's get into the gripper. Again, this is from Brass Brigade. This is from Jason. He is an awesome dude. I thought I had his little patch here, but I must have moved it. Sorry. He has noted he's gotten inspiration from the Nimble, so you can tell he's got the front flipper, back flipper, whole thing going on. I like that he added the fuller on this one. I don't recall the 3-inch that I handled. That was a custom having the fuller there, so it's nice to be able to use basically any finger you want to flick that out. I love the shape of this hole. Not in love with the flipper action on this knife, but if you learn to just light switch it back, you're good to go. I tend to be the guy who's like, oh, what happened, right? And it's just not how the knife is meant to be deployed, right? He did say the detent was going to be dialed up a little bit, and the clip is going to be changed to be a lot less tight in pocket, because I literally couldn't even get it in my pocket. Oh, there we go. So I had to really shove it past that that frag pattern where it's kind of like this, where see there's a landing pad under there. That's all it really needs, is just to be not frag pattern underneath, and it should be fine. Again, he also said the detent was going to be dialed up a little bit to be a little bit stronger. One other thing I'd note is the jimping. Honestly, for this front flipper, I would start right about here and start doing like the very small jimping, like normal jimping, and then go up and around. I know it's not going to aesthetically match up with everything, but you just want that kind of closer together jimping like this, because that's what catches your hand best, right? Now, this will work, but if you get up past that last line, you're going right off, right? Luckily, it's not sharp, so it's not a huge deal, but it'd be nice to have that, get a little more grip on there. But overall, I'm really digging the knife. I love the warnie shape. You guys know I love a good warnie for cutting out shipping labels and stuff. You know, this is kind of like the Nimble X 3.5, where I've handled the 3-inch and now I've handled the 3.5. And like, for me personally, I think a 3¼ inch would be like the sweet spot. And I hate to say that, because both of these guys have done, you know, 2 different sizes for us, and I'm sitting here complaining and wanting a middle size. Excuse me, but I'm not saying anything's like the size doesn't work or anything. It's just saying personally, I am more of a 3¼ inch guy, which I believe this is. So I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look inside, and we got a T8 here. I can't speak to whether the production run is going to have the same exact hardware or anything, but I'm hoping this is all going to be T8 steel hardware, it looks like. Do have a T8 back here. Jason did tell me he had not taken this one apart yet. Just got to remember this screw is at the back. Unless they're the same, then it doesn't matter. See the barrels there? Yep, they're the same. No big deal then. Okay. Whoa. All right. So the bearings are facing in, which is great. So the pivot, yeah, it was through that side. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was on the other side. It is a captive pivot. All these things are good. So let's get some alcohol up in this bitch. Again, guys, big shout out to Jason over at Brass Brigade. And I'm sorry I don't know his name, but TW Price. I don't know if his name's TW. Maybe he's from the South. Hey, TW. It's like a character from Dukes of Hazzard. Hey, TW. Get on over here with the general. Sorry. I know. I know, guys. You don't have to tell me. I'm, like, really tempted to try to put skiffs in here, but it's a prototype. That's kind of dumb. I don't want to mess with the prototype. I could even try Delrin's in here, 1/4 inch, but honestly, I think I'm starting to learn that these are mostly 6mm bearings from these Chinese OEMs. They're not actually 1/4 inch, just 1/4 inch fits, right? I'm just gonna make sure there's nothing in here, like Loctite or something. And again, this is OEM by Bestech. Colin and I, we are obviously Devo Knives. If you follow my channel, you probably know that. We are talking to Bestech about doing a project right now, actually. So that's interesting. Trying to branch out and hit up multiple OEMs for all the projects we're trying to hopefully do. Hopefully you guys are interested enough in our stuff that we can do multiple projects. Not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but if things go well, we want to be prepared, you know? Don't want to, like, have a knife people like, and then all of a sudden there's nothing for a year, you know? That's kind of my fear. And it's a pet peeve with companies, so. All right, so let's crank out the 85 weight. And we need the 10 weight, of course. There we go. 10 weight. All right, so first I want to take a look at this blade. He said I could chop trees down with it, whatever I wanted to do, so we might have to go do that, baton with it. I'm just kidding. Here's your tang. It looks like they did a bead blast on the back here, but that seems to be the only spot. Oh, under here too. I was a little worried that they bead blasted the whole, like, pivot area, and that's what, like, the detent was running on, but no, it's running on a satin, so it's going to have to wear in this track through this horizontal satin, if that makes sense. So that's part of the reason it makes that sort of sound when it goes through the detent track. So that's all normal stuff, which is good to know. Good to know. So I'm going to put dot, 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 dot. Try to go light on it. I don't try to go crazy here. Until I do, right? Until I accidentally let one rip. Like my kid, man. I got a 19-month-old, and it's hilarious. You'll be, like, carrying her up to bed, and she'll just start ripping farts. Like, it's just epic. It's cute when they're little, right? Sure, when she's, like, 12 and doing it, I'm going to be pissed, but anyway, it was the clip side, right? No, hold on. I always forget which side I take things apart from, which is dumb. Pretty sure this would go through here. I would have, I think, would have done it this way, right? Oh. That way that pops into the D shape on this side, right? And locks into place. Does that make sense? And then you have this on the show side, right? To me, that makes sense not to have a screw showing on the show side, but we'll see. Really should start remembering that, but I'm sure we'll find out pretty quick if I'm wrong. I like the internal stop pin. That's the kind of way I like to do it. Is that how I did it? Or did I? And this makes sense to me to have the show side be sterile, but I wonder if it's supposed to go... No, you see, it does have the notch. So if I even try to put it in this way, I do like when they do that, because then I know I was doing it right. It's the one benefit to that, is I know I had it in the right way. So that's good. All right, so I just need to line it up better, that's all. I mean, we did see when I went to take it apart, it like really wanted to spread apart. So some knives are just, it's just how they are, I don't know. So I want to line this up and then kind of, that's my plan here. And I'm going to try it open then. Trying to rotate the pivot barrel. You guys know this, but obviously this flat line has to line up with the same line on this side. And I'm just trying to, there we go. Come on. All right, I got it. What I'm going to do is dial this in so it stays in place. Don't you try to go anywhere, you son of a bitch. Felt it trying to turn on me. It did. Fuck. So I'm going to do this now. Push it out. Hold on. You'll see in a second what I'm doing. Now I can turn it with my finger, hopefully. And turn it the wrong way. Shit. Look, he wants to go in, but... not quite all the way. So let me drop one of these in. I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm just trying to have a little pressure taken off here. The hard part is I can't turn it right now. It's just being a little bitch. Should be. I just don't know if that's all the way in. Turn it a little more. There we go. That should be perfect. Looks lined up. To me, maybe a little, maybe it'll turn in when I turn this. Let's see. So, sorry guys, it's a prototype, so I'm trying to be a little careful here. Centering looks dead on. Not feeling anything there. Ooh. Yeah, so we have the same sort of feeling. So I think we're going to take this out just to check and see if it turned at all. And it looks like it's locked in there, so I might honestly drop a dot of Loctite in here. Because if this is going to somebody else after, I'd like it to just be good to go for them. Just a tiny bit. So again, centering looks dead on. Not feeling any play. I'm just trying to walk it back a little bit. But I don't want that centering to shift at all. All right, so we're centered up, right? And then action-wise, detent solid, disengage, no problem. Just got a little bit of something in here. You know, that's just the little bit of pivot lash, but nothing I can do about that without putting in like skiffs or something. It's going to tighten it down a little more. Should be good now. Yeah. Again, nothing I can do about that without putting in skiffs or something. That's all stuff we do, you know, once we get our production versions or whatever. So anyway, it's clean. It's good to go. You can see the action is great. It just, that last little bit has a little bit of, it's not like grit. It's just a sound because it's going on vertical or horizontal lines. It's making that sound. So yeah, it feels good. Left-handed, you can reverse flick it basically from anywhere. My finger really hurts, so I'm trying to be careful. Ring finger, I'm on the lock bar, shoots out. So if they do strengthen the detent, that could change, but at least on this prototype, it works on all aspects there. If you don't want it to guillotine down on you like this, you can just go up here and let that tab sort of hit you, and then you can shake it down. So there's options there. Thumb flick is good. Lock bar, the access is solid. Right-handed for sure. Left-handed, same thing. No stick or anything. The flipper tab feels really good left-handed. It's grabbing my finger really well. I'm getting good leverage. Feels good. Ergos, this feels really comfortable back here. I get a full grip. And then I have this beautiful choil up here. Now, I will say there is quite a gap from this finger to back here. It's kind of like the nimble where you just have to adjust to that. And what I do, like as I'm adjusting to it, what I do is kind of hold this and pull back. And that's how I hold it in a choil grip. And it makes my fingers feel closer together, if that makes sense. Whereas if I'm trying to do like a traditional climb up in the choil kind of grip, it just feels a little different than if I'm kind of down here just pulling back on it. It has a really nice hollow grind that starts right here. So that grind starts pretty low and it is pretty thick stock, but it's a good hollow grind and it feels pretty thick, or pretty thin, sorry, down there. So again, this is something I'll probably test carrying it and everything. But I mean, it's razor sharp. Here's the Dawn, again, from Bestech. Man, that middle finger really hurts. I believe this one's M390. I think they both are. I think they're both M390. I'm just not 100% sure, but That's kind of like what I would assume these guys would choose, because everybody chooses M390 right now. So, yeah. So there it is. That's the quick disassembly and reassembly of a prototype. Thank you, Jason, for letting me do that. He probably knew in his mind. He's probably like, he's going to do this and it's dumb because there's nothing in there, but whatever. I feel better. I feel a little movement here, but I wouldn't call it detent latch. It's just kind of normal, you know, play, so to speak. I don't know if I showed this in a video or if I just did it myself, but this knife, after looking at it, and I had never made this connection before, but if you look at the Todd Knife and Tool Roxy 3, Roxy 3, it definitely has Todd Knife and Tool vibes, doesn't it? I just think that's kind of cool. I never had put those two together. So it's kind of like a Todd Knife and Tool mixed with a nimble, like just a really cool design aspect here on the gripper. So two really cool first designs from some awesome dudes in the community. This pre-order's over. This one's coming. Again, full videos coming on both. So this is just a sort of like first impressions. I already unboxed them, so that doesn't count. But yeah. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Did you pick up a Dawn? Are you going to try to get one when they, you know, come in and he has a drop maybe? Or are you going to pre-order the gripper here, the 3.5-inch version? Or did you get a custom one made by SG Knives? Those are awesome. Just a cool knife, very thin, sleek, yet it has that awesome frag pattern on it. This knife just, if you know Jason, this knife just personifies Jason Grant, basically. I love that, you know. As he would probably agree with, this is your Sunday, gun day, fun day knife, right? Whereas this is like your Sunday church knife. So, kind of cool to have both here. So, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Two awesome pivot collars, too. Just cool to have both of these at once. Thank you so much to TW Price and Brass Brigade. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate you including me in this stuff. And yeah, I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later. All right, so I ended up having to take the Dawn apart too, because right after I did the gripper, right after that video, I was looking at this and I was seeing literally hairs like all up in this area here, and I thought I saw a little bit of rust too. So I wanted to make sure I got in here and got that off immediately. Luckily, it may have just been some goopy colored something, I don't know, but there was like hairs and shit. It was awfully strange. So anyway, I got it all cleaned up. I think it was really dry too. And the pivot screw, the show side, this screw was coming loose, which also is a really bad thing. Like, you don't want that to happen while you're messing with your knife, because then it makes it really hard to put back together. So I put Loctite in there and tighten that up. And then obviously I'll put Loctite on the pivot screw as well. It's a little bit of an interesting construction, so I guess you'll see, but this screw goes through the body and that holds the clip on. And it also goes through this standoff here, so it just makes it a little bit harder to put back together because you're going to have that screw to deal with, but we'll see how it goes. This goes through here like this. By the way, the gripper was 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter bearings, and this one's 5 millimeter. So if you're looking at skiffs, I don't know if they fit. I'm not going to mess with that because these are not my knives. I shouldn't even be doing this probably. I'll talk to TW Price and let him know what happened, and hopefully he doesn't scold me too hard for messing with his prototype, but I felt like it needed it. So I'm sure in the end it should hopefully be better off that I did it than worse. And yeah, that's about it. Let me clean off the lock bar there. All right. So yeah, it has some kind of Vero-esque engineering going on in here. I like that. All right, so we have lube there and there. We need a little on the blade. And then we need a little heavy for our detemp ball. Oh, no. Even that is a little much. You just want enough. That's all you want. So on this one, your stop pin is right here. So there you go. Put the bearings on. I did pay attention to how they were on, so that's good. I need to turn this way a little bit. Trying to be careful. I don't want to loosen that at all. So everything, nope, I need this guy. So this is what I was saying is going to be a little bit difficult, but we'll see. First, I just want to get that stop pin or that standoff in there. As long as I keep pressure on it, it should be fine. I like that extra pin in there. That's kind of cool. Looks like we're not quite. So here's what I'm going to do. Same thing I did last time. Put this little screw in just to give me a little stability down here. Hopefully hold that standoff in. Gentle. Okay. Hopefully that keeps this one in, you know what I mean? I could probably put that in, but... So what I need to do is this and push it through a little bit. Can't tell if it's in place. Kind of looks like it. But it also looks like it's turned a little bit to the wrong way. There we go. Nope. Trying to push it out a little bit, but I'm being gentle on purpose. Don't want to cause any issues. And my problem right now is I can't tell where the flat is. Like, it's just so hard to see. I think it's off to this side. I'm gonna have to take it apart again. Yeah, it's not turning appropriately. It's good. The tolerances are pretty good, I'd say. I just can't tell where the damn flat part of the pivot is. Okay, seriously? Hang on. Just need a magnet or something. Jesus. Okay, it's at the bottom. I'm going to turn a little bit this way so it can only go that way a little bit, which is better than the other way. Okay. Can I take the pivot collar out? I feel like the pivot collar is causing me to not see very well. That and the camera right above my head, but you know. I just want to line it up. Where did I smack the pivot screw to? Yeah, good. Is it stuck to something? Calling all magnets. Okay, hang on a second. All right, I got it in. That's good. Now I just gotta find the pivot screw. I love this pin right here. It's awesome. Like, it just helps with stability. It's just smart to have that extra pin. And there's that landing pad. That's so cool. Yeah. Seriously. I will tighten that later. I just wanted to have this all secured so I can look for this pivot screw that apparently I lost, which sucks because I didn't want to lose a pivot screw on a prototype. So just checking in here real quick to make sure nothing magnetic picked it up. That's what tends to happen. So that looks clean. Oh, no. We have a lid to this guy. Okay. We obviously have our Loctite that we're going to need. Dumb thing. Let's see. Is it? It's not under there, which sucks because I was hoping that's where it was. It's not on here. I don't know where it would have went. All right, hang on. All right, I can breathe. So I found it. It was on the floor, in the carpet. I had no idea how I knocked the pivot screw down. Did anybody notice that? I'm sure if you did, you were fucking laughing your ass off. All right, let's do this and get this over with before I do any damage. Shit. Fucking tiny ass screws. It's a nightmare, dude. It really is. I took it apart because I saw a hair and then I ended up putting a hair on the screw. All right. That fucker tried to turn. super loose. I don't know what's going on. I think that pivot popped free. God damn it. Oh, now you come out, you fuck stick. Oh, great. No, it's... Yeah, it's turned a little bit to the wrong side. Okay. Back to this bullshit. Looks like it's all the way into me. Let's try it again. This is the difference between Bestech and Riot right here. Not saying it's bad to use Bestech. I'm just saying there are differences. All right. Dead centered, okay? Just want to note that. Let's tighten this stuff down and then go back to that. Clip, tighten down, body screw. Tighten down, okay. Need to back off a little bit here. Oh, that was a big back off, but no play. There we go. Dead centered. Yeah, I don't feel any play. Ooh, there's lock rock. I don't know if that's from me somehow, but I doubt it. Should have checked that first, but... I mean, look at that. Otherwise, it's freaking perfect. Now, what if I tighten this down more again? Huh. Who knows? That could have been something that was noted before that I even ever saw it. I don't know. I mean, I could back it out one more time just to be sure. It's not going to hurt anything to back the pivot out. I just need to make sure the pivot itself is still seated. Yeah. It's in there. I don't think that's the Loctite. There's like this black shit. That's what was in there when I originally took it apart. It was like this black stringy shit. It was almost like black Loctite or something. It's locked in place in there, so there's not anything else I can do. It's almost immediately turning the Loctite to like this black goop. I don't know why. Possibly because there's oil in there or something. I don't know. Or because I fiddled with it after, you know what I mean? I'm just putting a tiny bit on. Maybe because I fiddled with it after I took it out like 3 times. You hear that? It's just the thing clicking back into place, but it's quite awkward. Yep, I tightened down real good. So, dead centered. Let's not flick it. Just let it go. No play. Yeah, it just has lock rock. I don't know what that's about. Or lock play, whatever somebody wants to call it. No blade play. Get back off a little more, and then I'm done. Sorry. Trying to be gentle with it. Still centered. I mean, lockup's good. It's not like that's awesome. So I think we're good. It's not going to fail or anything. It just has a lot of play. That is sort of a Bestech thing as well. Veros tend to have that. So I don't know. That must have been there and I didn't notice. I mean, for all I know, I could have caused it too. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's an issue with the knife. Plus, this is a prototype, guys. That's the stuff you find out. If he didn't know about that, now he does, and he can tell them for the production run to make sure there's no lock rock or play or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I am glad we got this back together, no problem, other than almost losing a pivot screw. I am sorry, TW Price. I had to do it. I thought there was rust in there, and there was hairs all over it, and it was super dry. It just needed it, I think. I'm just going to let it sit to Loctite, and then I will be carrying it for a few days, do the review, and on to the next. So, thank you guys. Love y'all. Peace.